friends, I'm Dipali Bedi. I'm a clinical psychologist running awareness program by the name of Sukoon Pledge to Seek Help. Today we'll be talking about live-in relationships. Live-in relationships have become common in metropoles, at least. We need to understand why is it happening. The complexity which is connected with marriage, the social complexities which are connected with marriage can be ruled out and not taken. If we say that in India the marriages happen between two families, so we are talking of n number of people from one family should be impressed by n number of people from the other family, or at least have the basic cordial connection, which is too complex. एक से एक के तो बनती नहीं है, मुश्किल से बनती है. With so many people into the picture, it becomes too difficult sometimes. So there would be rejections in some form or the other. So people today sometimes prefer living in a live-in relationship. Some might even choose to live in a live-in relationship as a choice that, it might be, let's experiment if it can be worked out or not. In whatever circumstances, live-in relationships basically take away that whole social pressure of being how you should be. But again, then the whole social support system which exists with the extended family is again removed. So some bit of responsibility of increases with the live-in relationship because the individual themselves are responsible for what they choose, but it reduces a lot of other complexities which are there in our society under the pressure of our social norms and cultural norms. So live-in relationship might not be a complete bad thing where we are just trying to minimize the social pressure, but then live-in relationships take away that aspect of security which comes with the social acceptance and the legal acceptance, although now the legal system is considering even live-in relationship beyond a certain years as a normal marriage. So it does enjoys the legal facilities of being married. So purely live-in relationship might not be a bad idea, but we need to be very clear because it's a new space. We need to be very clear as to what are the ground rules in this relationship. So it shouldn't be made with a very casual approach to it. There is a huge responsibility when one chooses to be into this relationship. Yes, it has the benefit of removing a lot of social and cultural complexities into it, whereas on the other side adding a lot of social and cultural complexities to it because your society and your culture would make it more difficult in acceptance of the live-in relationship. So it's a different space altogether which doesn't have a clear boundary. So we really need to define those boundaries when we get into that relationship. So live-in relationship might not be bad, but the boundaries needs to be the ground rules, because it's almost like making a new game. So if you're making a new game, you need to have the boundaries defined much more clearly to one another, because there aren't known boundaries already in that, which would make it a difficult space to be in, because obviously we have to have boundaries and we do have to have understanding of how it will go. That's more about how live-in relationships should be. I don't think they are completely bad spaces, because there is sometimes a choice to live into a relationship just to minus the complexities which would come because of the social background difference, the caste system, X number of things. Just removing away the complexities of two different families and just deciding to be together, it might be a good idea, but obviously the ground rules needs to be very clear. There needs to be a very clear understanding as how these ground rules will go, and obviously there should be a clear-cut discussed space that these ground rules can be discussed further and made changes and made amendments to make it better. If you're looking at a live-in relationship which should get better and improve and maybe last forever, but if you're just choosing to go in for a live-in relationship, okay, let's experiment around, then we can choose what we want to do. Right? Thank you.